I've often wondered how much tech support scammers make every day. Is it tens of dollars? Is it hundreds or thousands? And just how many victims do they defraud? Well, I managed to gain access to just one of their accounts, and the figures are truly staggering. This is how I gained that access and answered those questions. So a little while ago, I found this pop-up. I thought it looked particularly amateur, the background isn't the best, but what made it look particularly awful was the fact that they were using somebody else's pop-up and they'd simply painted very badly in Photoshop their own phone number over the top of this. So I thought I'd call this number and see what sort of scammer was behind this one. Hello?
Thank you for calling Support Center. This is Tom. How can I help you?
Hello, yes, I've got it looks like a real problem on my computer because there's like a blue screen and white letters and it says something about Windows Defender and a threat on the computer.
Okay, so I can confirm your call by phone number in case if the line got disconnected.
0203 868 0181. Yes, I used their phone number as my phone number.
81.
Yeah.
I can go ahead and connect your screen to our secure server to diagnose the problem. So I'll be connecting the screen to my screen.
70, yeah.
530.
30.
That's right.
Okay.
And then click on continue.
Right.
Alright, so I can see your name here. Ben Key, is that your name?
Yeah.
Alright, so now you just click on yes again, so that I can go ahead and share your screen and diagnose the problem. Alright, this is the problem that you have with your computer, is that right?
Yeah, I can't get rid of that. And every time I move away from it, like it keeps popping up. So now that the scammer has access, he goes through all the usual tricks.
It's running fine, but here you do not have the network access protection, right?
No, right.
So it's
What's
turning
that?
off. It's not running. So here, let me go ahead and run a security scan on your computer. Give me a moment.
Right. Okay. Any guesses what the command for scanning will be? It's either tree or dir. So what does that network thing do then?
So, are you the only user of this computer?
Yeah. Well, usually yes.
All right. So here's your do you have any securities installed on this computer, like antivirus,
Well, there's
anti-malware?
definitely something there. So he's typed three things in the command line: not security found, network security error, and spyware detected. He explains what this is.
Yeah, it was this spyware is a kind of harmful software. It's a kind of malicious software that can be run on the computer, and since this spyware is used by the third party people, the bad people that need to that send to the system to compromise their personal information, collect data and information. So right now, let's see. Let's go ahead and check out whether there's any kind of infection on your computer or not.
Okay. So he checks for these infections using the old scammer favorite of, you guessed it, Event Viewer.
Alright, so you see here, there are some errors and warning, right? So these are the infections on your computer. Like these drivers that runs on your computer, and this has been infected. That give you warning error, and we need to remove this spyware from your computer. So here's there might be some security which will be needed to be installed on your computer.
Right. Okay.
And for the security, there will be charges for registering the securities to be installed on your computer. And do you want me to tell you which are the security that we need to install on your computer? So I'll just go ahead and open up a secure payment page for you, for which you have to register all the information by yourself, alright?
Yeah, that's okay.
You don't have to read out any of your personal information.
Right. So in order to get payment, our scammer has to reveal which organization he works for. And it seems to be an organization called WeTechConsultants.com. So I fill out my usual fake information to see what happens next.
Alright, so now you can just click here and click on continue.
PC Cleaner. What's PC Cleaner?
Right. It includes all the security which I mentioned on there, not that here.
So not surprisingly, the Spanish bank which he's using to take the payment fails because it's a fake credit card. Unsuccessful.
Alright, says that your payment was unsuccessful, right? So is there any information which you type is wrongly? Since it seems to be there's a problem with the margin.
Oh, right.
So give me a moment. Yeah.
Okay. And this is where things start to get interesting because he uses a different payment gateway. In this case, a company called NMI.com. Sorry, what's NMI?
Yeah, it's a margin, sir. It's just a payment margin.
All right. Okay. At this point, he logs in with a username and a password. He uses the username Varun@live, and the password is Varun@978. How do I know this? Well, I run a keylogger. He is, after all, connected to my machine. Now that he's logged in, I think it's probably a good thing that I take a snapshot of the machine at this point so that I can revisit it when I need to. This gives me the ability to revisit this machine at any point in the future. Unfortunately for me, though, this guy did change his password shortly after we disconnected.
Right, it's working. Yep.
Okay,
so that is the amount,
yeah.
And your order ID will be, yep.
Okay.
All right. So now you can just put it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Shall I help you with that?
No, it's all right. I can do it.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you one thing before we go any further, though? I want to challenge him on the fraud
Yes.
witness. I've taken a few screenshots as he's gone along. I noticed what you told me before about network access protection being off. That should be off, and we both know that. And
that should be on.
No, for Windows 7, that's normally off unless it's on a corporate network. You ran.
That should be on. I can show you that after that.
Wrong. Okay, it's off on a normal machine, clean machine like this is. You ran dir/s saying it was a scan, and then you proceeded to type something on the command line, which looked like spyware detected. This is on the command line, and you typed in not security found, and you typed in network security error. Why did you do that? At this point, the scammer says nothing more because he's been caught on, so I disconnect him whilst he is still connected to the NMI.com login. Let me just send the abuse report first of all. Okay, and we are still logged in here, which is the interesting thing. So let's go back to the very start. I list all of the invoices going back to February 2010, just to get an idea about who has been scammed. So this company have only started using NMI.com since the 6th of July 2016. And when this was recorded was the 24th of February 2017. So there are 649 invoices over the period of about 7.5 months. As I was looking at this web page, I was reminded of something I'd seen on YouTube earlier. There's another video, and the link is in the description below, by Scorpio Nick, and this looked very similar to when he had tried to refund some scam victims. As it turns out, Nick and I were actually connected to exactly the same scammers. I take a look in detail at one of their most recent victims. I've blacked out his details here, but I was able to phone this poor guy Joseph, And he was able to confirm to me that exactly the same scam that I had recorded had been tried on him, and he was now down $249.99. But I still wanted to get some answers. How many victims were there? How much money did they make? How many victims do fall for this scam each day? Luckily for me, there's a report that I can run on NMI.com. So I simply selected the earliest date that I knew where they had transactions, and I ran the report to give me some detail on that. This is what it looked like. As you look at this report, bear in mind it's just for one call center in India, WeTechConsultancy.com, but there are very many pop-ups which are active on a daily basis, and that's not counting the phone calls that are made to innocent victims in the UK, US, and Australia. The report shows thousands of US dollars almost every day for the entire 7.5 months that this operation is run. Often the figure will be upwards of $7,000, and there are instances in the report where you can see up to $36,000. I'm highlighting just a couple here. There's 19,000, below it 14,000 and 11,000. So here are the totals. In that 7.5 month period, they ripped off 2,971 people, refunded 4% of their profits, but they made a total of $737,000. So that means that this one organization, We Tech Consultants, will make a cool $1 million this year. So if you ever wondered why you see so many fake pop-ups or receive lots of bogus phone calls, now you know. I've contacted NMI.com to see if this video and next video will spur them into action. Surely as a responsible company, they'll freeze the assets and notify the police. I've also sent a link to the video to Action Fraud. So this is as far as I can take it, but again, if you like these videos, please hit your like button and please do subscribe for future updates.